Here is a tale of two cities within one city. It was the best of times in the DeVoe neighborhood, where people were living to be an average age of 84. And it was the worst of times less than 4 miles away in the Vistula neighborhood, where people were living to be an average age of 62. How can you lose a generation of life by traveling less than 4 miles?
Well, if you guys know, Salem is my home church, so it's convenient. That's the word. It's very convenient that it was here, and I live right next door. This is my home church, so it'll be my people around me. I've always been the helping type. I have a big heart. I've also had to work with few family members. I just never had the certificate.
A lot of seniors don't have people, family members. They there by themselves. And they just need assistance. They don't ask for much. Yeah. They probably just need someone take them to the store, help them dress, clean up, because they getting up in age and they can't do it. Yeah. So why not?
It makes me feel sad because they don't know about the resources. They don't know about ABC and all the different benefits that they can gain by reaching out. Yeah.
And they're just sad because they basically by themselves. They probably got 3 or 4 kids, never come and visit them. Just like they just threw them in the trash, basically. And that's sad.
So my name is Wilso Quendom. I am president of the North End Neighbors. We're dedicated to serving our community, understanding that we are part of this community and that we can make a big difference. A lot of the members of North End Neighbors have grown up here in this area, have suffered disparities, have suffered unfairness. It's always easier to think that it's better to probably move out, but then nothing changes. And so sometimes there's a sacrifice that needs to be made to stay behind and fight for your community. North End Neighbors is full of that. It's full of a lot of members of the community that we want to fight for our community. We want to stand up for our community. We know there's better in me, there's better in each and every other member, and there's better in other neighbors that just don't have the power to voice that.
People in our area actually have a shorter life expectancy, whereas in other areas, maybe just 4 miles away, the average life expectancy is folks will live until they're 80. And it's wild when you think about it.
It actually hurts, coming from the heart, it hurts. Because you just look at the difference of, just from the meek eye, maybe not knowing statistics and all the percentages and all of that, but just from the view of just a common person. It hurts, because you understand that the only reason why those things are happening is because there's a lack of something within the community that just offers to us our basic needs. Our God-given right to live, our basic needs just aren't being met for one reason or the other. Rather it's esteem, mental health, addiction, it all plays a role.
You can try to redesign an area, you can have a great idea for neighborhood uplift, but unless it includes people, all you're doing is renovating a building. And so it's wonderful to see nonprofits and agencies like the Area Office on Aging come into the neighborhood and to work with people there and to begin to think of ways to benefit them that are tailored to the circumstances that they face.
Growing up, I was always told, it takes a village to raise a child. So we look at the North as that child, and it takes us as a village to come together and bring the North up.
In the 9 years I've been here, when folks have done that, that's when I've seen the most impact.
Well, I find that to be extremely alarming. But I think it has to do with where people live, the type of neighborhoods they live in. I think it has a lot to do with income, just poverty, living bad off, not having things that you need, stress, worry about stuff that you don't have, income. So I think in a nutshell, it has a lot to do with poverty. Because you can't afford things. You can't afford a car. You're stressing over how to get to places. Can't make ends meet. Causes stress, causes sickness, causes disease. Also, there's a lot of things in this neighborhood that we don't have, that other neighborhoods may have, like grocery stores, decent places to get your food without having to go through a lot of changes to get them, such as a ride, running out of food, not being able to go and get the things that you need. So I just think it has a lot to do with poverty and people having to just do the best they can to make ends meet.
I talk to a lot of the older people in my neighborhood because, you know, my mom, she didn't just move there, they built the house there. And I can see where it was here and now it's going down to here. And the people are always asking me questions. Miss Cynthia, what can I do? Well, when I come back and I make phone calls and I'm on the telephone all day trying to get them help for a basement that's leaking and I don't get help, I don't know where to turn. I'm devastated, you know, being gone so long and come back and see this.
It makes me feel very sad that people can die 20 years younger just because they don't know better. They don't know how to access the things they need or should have. I was never aware of this, that it is such a big gap just 4 miles away. It's disheartening to say the least. I'm 81 years old. I have 6 children. And we were just, we lived in Detroit, Michigan for some years, and then I moved back here. But it's the neighborhoods are basically the same. The same things going on, the same things are available, the beer and wine stores, and then not just that, but the people you're around. They have a lot to do with it, your associations, because you become a part of it if you fellowship with them. You become a part of that, you know.
To me, when you look outside Cherry Street, there are exactly 3 senior buildings here at the corner of Cherry and Huron. When you look outside, it looks like a desert. It's desolate. There are no markets, and as I indicated, there's no food places to go to. There's a lot of open fields where there's nowhere. You know, there could be playgrounds there for people to come out with their kids. There could be festivals, you know, weekend festival vendors should be up and down. There's nothing lively going on. So I think that adds to the stress.
My neighbor next door, she OD'd last summer, and she was a swell person. She, I knew what she did. She didn't hide it, and you know, we talked a lot and things like that. And when I found out she had passed, it was, you know, my worst feeling. I just thought, I wish I could have done more. I don't know what it would have taken. I didn't know her well, you know, just see her in the hall or stop and chat a minute, you know. She was in her 50s. So she really had no business dying. To try to help people to live longer, you know, first you have to let them know they can live longer. That eating right and doing the right things, walking some, and, you know, can add 20 years to your life. Give you 20 more years with your grandchildren, and to just become a valuable person. educate the people in Vistula about just taking care of themselves, whatever that is, whatever that would mean for the individual, to just take care of yourself. Get a group of them together down in the community room and just see who grabs it. Then after some of them grab it and the rest of them see them doing well, maybe this does work, I'll try it. Maybe it would be that type of situation.
There is about a 22-year age gap within the city of Toledo. Upon learning this information, the Area Office on Aging and community partners have felt compelled to try to do something about this. Among other efforts, the agency has partnered with Mobile Meals and Madonna Homes to provide meals to older adults.
And a lot of times when you're dealing with unexpected issues, the first thing you need to know is, who do I turn to? Where do I get help? Where do I get resources? What do I do?
I think the first thing that we got to do is show them that we really care.
One of our nonprofit partners that's doing a lot of work in the neighborhood is the Area Office on Aging. They've done a lot of outreach with us and other community organizations. Another way that they've helped out in our neighborhood is by bringing with ABC a home health aid training here in our neighborhood. So people in our area can come to the class, receive the training, and within a couple weeks they can get to work in the neighborhood. And so it's helping out the older adults in our neighborhood, as well as the people in our neighborhood who might want that kind of employment opportunity. And it's very convenient because it gets around some of the barriers of transportation. Why I really like it is because it's taking people from the community and it's helping to give them opportunity to build them up, as well as helping other people in the community. And I think that that's really the golden ticket in terms of helping uplift an area.
A lot of the members of this community, like for example, we might have a neighbor that has been taking care of her parents for like the last 15 years. And so then you sit down and you talk to them and ask them questions, and they're like, well, I can't get a job because I'm taking care of my parents. And then when you have an agency like the Office Area on Aging that comes out and actually teaches them and says, well, you know, that doesn't stop you. You can actually be getting paid for what you do. Bringing that here to the North, bringing that opportunity for people to work on being self-sufficient, independent, feel useful, have a little economic stability is a big thing, and it's a wonderful thing. And I think that it's also another way to have our youth understand how much more important our elders are in our life.
The Area Office on Aging has partnered with TARTA to provide bus passes to older adults in the neighborhood.
The Office of Aging here's input has been really, really good. You know, you guys are, we see you, you're here. And it doesn't feel like, you know, you don't want to answer our questions. It's like you're very, like, making yourself available to us.
The Area Office on Aging did not take the approach of putting on a superhero cape and swooping in to save the day. Instead, the agency engaged with those who live and work in the community to identify ways to help close the longevity gap altogether.
It helps us feel better when we know that they care about people that are getting older. I don't like to use a lot of old people or the old lady. We're aged, we're elderly, we're seniors. And one day you're gonna be aged and elderly and senior, so it feels good to have that engagement with Office of Aging, and I'm glad you guys are coming on a regular, because I think that's great. I really do.
This story is not over. This is just the end of the first chapter. We invite others to join in to write the rest of the story so that it has a happy ending for all.